4 weeks removed from our last time on the Marian University campus, we are back on the ISC Sports Network. And for the first time, we are profiling spring sports. Today it is a doubleheader, yes, in less than ideal conditions. Crossroads League play as the Grace College Lancers make the trip to Central Indiana to take on the Marian University Knights. Thank you so much for joining us on ISC and Comcast Xfinity Cable Channel 81 alongside the voice of the Roncalli Royals, Rob Brown. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. Rob, it is always a pleasure to be with you. And these are two teams that did not have a chance to play their scheduled doubleheader yesterday due to the rain, snow, ice, etc. They'll make that up on April the 18th, but they will play this one and play through the weather conditions. I think everybody, given how rough the weather has been the last few weeks, just excited to be playing this afternoon.
Well, I think both these teams, Greg, want to get the games in, if for no other reason than to gather some momentum, as we've got a 3-week sprint to the end of the season. One of these teams, Grace, is in the last spot to qualify for the conference tournament. Marian's the first spot outside looking in, but only a half a game or a game back. So both of these teams are looking to get some momentum, and you can't do that if you get games canceled every other day.
Welcome to small college baseball, where most folks in Central Indiana haven't even thought about mowing their yard yet.
No.
And we have three weeks left to go
3 weeks.
in terms of the baseball regular season. We'll get you the Grace College lineup to you on the fly. Chris Griffin leads things off. He is the DH, young man from Edwardsburg, Michigan. Batting .343, 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in. In Crossroads League play, you're scheduled to play every team 4 times. This is the first of 4 over the next couple of weeks. Young men on the mound for the Marian University Knights is Davis Enfield. Northridge High School, and Griffin hits this one. It might poke a hole in the clouds. It is sky high. Trey Heidlich gives way. A.J. Bourdonnais, the freshman from Lafayette Central Catholic, makes the play, and there's quickly one down.
Infield impervious to the elements, pitching without the long sleeves this afternoon.
I would not be that guy as a pitcher.
No, not a chance.
So here's Jeff Pollock. Pollock is the first baseman. .298 batter, 3 home runs, and 29 runs batted in. And Enfield's first offering is a strike. Pollock, a young man from Penn High School. Of course, a program that has made frequent trips downstate to play, 2-3 miles away at Victory Field, the home of the Indianapolis Indians. And, of course, this year the high school boys baseball state finals will again be held at the Vic, June 17th and 18th. He did go around. I think he even made contact and foul tipped that one back in the mitt. Easy call for Alex Shears, our home plate umpire. Tony Montalone will handle all the activities out in the field as our base pass umpire. And the count now in favor of Enfield at 1-2. Swing and a miss. Again, foul tip back into the mitt. Strikeout recorded by Enfield, his 11th. And now 11 2/3 innings pitched, 2 down.
Infield working quickly, which I know his fielders appreciate.
Alex Rich steps up. Alex is the left fielder. That's a team-high .370 for the Lancers. And again, pops this one up. Bourdonnais has a little less work to do on this one, but you could not script a better top half of the first for the Marian University Knights as Grace goes down in order. And now we can bring you the batting lineup for the home team in Marian University. Leading things off for the Knights today will be their second baseman, Hiro Kato. Young man from Japan, Hironori Kato, his full name. He is a senior. Jackson Hogue, the left fielder, will bat second. Matteo Porcelato, senior from British Columbia, will bat third. He is the center fielder. Trey Heidlich from Batesville, third baseman batting cleanup. J.J. Rivera bats fifth in right field. We've mentioned the hometown of A.J. Bourdonnais already, being from Lafayette. The shortstop bats sixth. Bryce Davenport, the native of Cincinnati, will bat seventh. Brody Reinhold is the DH, batting eighth, and Leon Winchus is the catcher today. He will bat ninth. The pitcher that they will be facing for the Grace College Lancers is, if not their ace, then one of their top hurlers on the season. This is Cameron Cook. I mentioned that Jeff Pollock is from Penn High School. Same for Cameron as well. His number is very solid on this season. You see them on your screen. A ERA that is better than that record would indicate, and a strikeout to walk ratio that is just shy of 3-1. The infielders backing him up today: Curiel, Cox, Carr, and Pollock. Cosme is the battery mate of Cook in today's game. In the outfield, Rich, Danforth, and Newkirk here for the Grace College Lancers.
Cook leads this Grace team in starts. This is his 8th start, 2 more than anybody else. We may see Evan Etchison in the second game. He was the league pitcher of the week last week.
You know, when it comes to, say, the Division I level, you know, we can equate that ace to being the Friday starter, because when you play your league games, because there is such a grind in this league of 36 league games, if you can get them all in. You play 9 league opponents, each 4 times apiece. You kind of get your starter in there, when your ace when you can. Of course, with the games being postponed yesterday, easier to throw the 1 today. So lefty versus lefty matchup here. This one sails high. Cato on the season batting .330. 2 home runs and 21 runs batted in. One and 1 the count.
Almost feels like we're at Shea Stadium.
We are in the path of the Indianapolis International Airport. Slow rolling ground ball. Shortstop charges. Cato hustling down the line. The play is made from Carr to Pollock, and there's 1 down. Here's Jackson Hogue stepping up. Hogue from Surrey, British Columbia. Played at Dodge City Community College in Kansas. Rolla spent time at Douglas Community College as well. Hogue batting .334, does not have a home run, has 18 runs batted in. Thankfully, given the temperatures, there is not much in the way of wind today. This could be a problem. Third baseman, a bobble, and couldn't do anything with it. That ball rolling up the heel of the glove of Curiel did it any chances he had to make the play. Runner on first with 1 down.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an indecision by Cook to come off the mound. He got a late jump, and that ball was hit kind of in that in-between, between pitcher and third base.
And, of course, this is a home game for Marian. So the home scorer says that's a base hit.
I'd agree with that.
It would have been a tough play to make.
Yes.
Here's Porcelato. He, too, Canadian. 3 Canucks, and I say that lovingly, in the lineup.
Absolutely.
For
all 3 from British Columbia.
Marian University.
That's clearly a recruiting hotbed for Coach Todd Bacon.
Could you call him Canadian Bacon then?
It's one of my favorite movies, very underrated.
Not sure we should bring up the dad jokes in the bottom of the first. We should save those for
it's a long day.
Later in the game,
keep
number
those in
2.
the back pocket.
Porcelato batting .367, 4 home runs and 22 runs batted in. 8 of the 9 Marian starters have won at least Big Fly 1 time this year. Led by Bryce Davenport's 9. Toss back. Not exactly much of a lead. Being taken at first base by Hogue. This one hops to home plate on the extended lead. Scampering down, Hogue will take the extra base on the wild pitch.
That's good alert base running by Hogue. As soon as that ball was in the dirt, he was off.
Runner in scoring position now for Porcelato. That's a beauty. Off-speed pitch dialed in there, 2-2 the count. This is the 33rd game for Marian. Porcelato has played in 29. He has started 28. Hit the outside corner, strike 3. Too close to take it, 2-2.
Yeah, especially with the runner in scoring position. Now 2 outs, you put it in the hands of your cleanup hitter.
I understand taking that pitch at 2-1, 3-1. Got to make an offer on that one in the 2-strike scenario. So here is Trey Heidlich. It's great to have Trey back on the airwaves of the ISC Sports Network again. Trey, a 3-sport athlete at Batesville High School. We saw a lot of Trey's games in his days as a Bulldog. Was the starting quarterback on the football team at Batesville. Outstanding basketball player for head coach Aaron Garrett, but clearly this is his top sport. Heidlich batting .257, 2 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Speed misses low, 1-0 the count.
And he's got the longest active hitting streak on this roster with 6 games. Has reached base in 18 straight. That's an active streak as well.
He has started every game but 2 this year, has Trey. Curveball, a beauty. Not much Heidlich to do with that one. 1-1 the count. Center fielder shading just a bit towards left for the cleanup man for the Knights. Saw a similar curveball that was breaking down in the zone. Able to fight that one off, but the count now 1-2, and Cook is 1 pitch away from, I wouldn't call this getting out of a jam, but putting a 0 on the board in the home half of the first. J.J. Rivera awaits on deck if it gets to him. This one laced into right center field. Right fielder had him played perfectly into the glove of Newkirk, and the inning is over. So Marian strands a runner at second, and we are through 1 here on the campus of Marian University. Scoreless in this Crossroads League weekend opener on ISC and Comcast 81.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35 plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, is a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
4, 5, and 6 to up this time through for the Grace College Lancers. A strikeout and then a pair of pop-ups to the shortstop. Top 3 batters for the Lancers. Grace checks in at 13-20 on the season, 7-13 in Crossroads League play. And as my partner Rob Brown pointed out early in the broadcast, right now these are the 8 and 9 teams in the Crossroads League, and only 8 make the league tournament. And while there's a lot of ground to cover over the next 3 weeks, the conference tournament is now 4 weeks away. So the time is now for each of these 2 teams. This one hopped to home plate. Carr, a local product, so I'm sure he's got some friends and family braving the chilly conditions today to be here. He played at Franklin Central High School.
Yeah, he's one of just 2 Central Indiana kids on this Grace roster.
Winona Lake, Indiana, the home of Grace College. It's outside of the greater Warsaw area, where you can find the beautiful campus that Grace has. Down at 2-0. Taking it 2-0, pitcher's pitch, hit the outside corner. By the way, can't blame Winchester for trying on the pitch before. He tried to frame that a good 6 inches to bring pitch 2 back across the plate. Umpire was not buying it. Fastball tails away. And really first time that Enfield has been behind in the short time he's been on the mound today. 3-1. Again, popped him up. Right fielder coming in, second baseman drifting back. Second baseman makes the play. That's Cato. All right, Rob, what are you seeing that is causing so many pop-ups to this point from the Lancer bats?
I'm not sure that they're actually picking the baseball up right out of infield's hands. I think it's more of a case they're swinging late, they're getting underneath it, and I think they're having trouble with this heavy overcast sky picking it up coming out of the pitcher's hands.
It's a fair point. It's an advantage for infield. Kind of the backdrop that those hitters are looking at is kind of the brick facade of the PE Center and onto the dining area, the Hall of Champions.
Yeah, they don't have a traditional hitting background here,
right.
So if you've got a baseball it's a little scuffed up and not pearly white, you're going to have a hard time picking it up.
Infield. Throws this one, ball sprayed foul, and somewhere in the vicinity of my car down the right field line.
I made sure to park well out of range just for that very reason.
See, my desire to walk as few steps as possible overrides my concern with losing a windshield. Now, I'm about 3 years removed from having one popped out in a game that I was calling. By the way, Sam Newkirk is at the plate. Sam attended DeSales High School in Louisville, Kentucky. Sam batting .340 on the year, 5 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Of the starters, most home runs by a Grace player. Good eye at 1-2. Count it 2-2. Fouled straight back. Didn't miss that by much. It's one of the best cuts we've seen so far.
Yeah, we've not seen any hitters. This is the 5th hitter in the order. Anybody barrel up infield yet, but that was as close as they've come so far.
And this one sprayed foul. And we are facing to the northeast as this field is laid out here on the campus of Marian University. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s today.
That's ambitious.
3-2 the count. I didn't go with the real feel or wind chill.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Went by the never accurate research of my dashboard thermometer on the way over here today.
All right.
It said 42. Again, this one sprayed foul, and infield has basically thrown about as many pitches as in this at bat as he had to the first 4 batters he faced today.
Well, regardless of the outcome of this at bat, Newkirk has done his teammates a favor, just if nothing else, to throw off infield's timing.
10th pitch of the at bat. It'll at least be 11. And we are here for this doubleheader today. Our cameras will be here for softball next Saturday. Marian takes on Indiana Wesleyan. Payoff pitch. Newkirk continues to battle, and we need a fresh supply of baseballs at this point.
I believe Scott Fleming hit a milestone win earlier this year.
650?
650, yep.
Or Scott from Noblesville. Got in the coaching profession like his father. Spent many years as John Grimes' assistant basketball coach at Marian. Now focuses exclusively on softball. And what a battle by Newkirk.
It's a really good at bat.
First base runner of 5 to come to the plate so far for the Lancers.
Now batting for Grace, the catcher, number 29, Josh Cosme.
There's Josh Cosme to the plate. Young man from the Chicago suburbs, Bolingbrook, Illinois. That's .245, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. And the first one misses low and inside. Outfield straight away here for the number 6 hitter. Got tied up with the inside fastball, 1-1 the count.
It's the first time that infield's been able to get in on the hands of a right-hand hitter.
Infield's ERA 9.82 in limited action on the season. But he's looked the part today. Good move over to first. Newkirk not exactly venturing far away from the bag.
Quick little shuffle step there. I like that. Quick move.
Newkirk has all of 1 stolen base this year, but he's run it. Cosme is swinging, mile-high pop-up. Newkirk has it in his sights in terms of getting back to first. Left fielder, that's Hogue. Had a chance to think about his upcoming homework for the rest of the weekend before that one came down.
Yes.
There's 2 away.
Pool party.
Cal Curiel.
Batter for Grace College, third baseman number 4, Cal Curiel.
Batting .321. See his rest of his particulars on the screen. Got the inside corner.
And he and Cosme are the only 2 freshmen in this starting lineup in game 1 for Grace.
Played at Crown Point, a school that perpetually is good in baseball.
Yes. That goes back multiple decades.
Well, LaPorte was so good for so many years, it made all of the schools that of their size in their area need to be good to compete with them.
Yep.
And then you have what Dave Pischker has done for the last 4 decades at Andrean that has kind of then lifted the schools in their neighborhood to be good with them, as evidenced by Hanover Central making the
good call.
3A state finals last year. 0-2. This one down the right field line could be a problem. It is drifting over. That one will get into foul territory. Hustling to get there was Rivera, but didn't have to worry about making the play as it drifted into what is the ample foul territory.
I was just thinking the same thing. There's a lot of room, especially down in that right field corner.
There is
a lot of room.
More room in foul territory, say from a width standpoint, than the size of my yard in Broad Ripple.
It's like the old Oakland Coliseum before the remodel.
Count remains 0-2. Quick toss back. Newkirk was going earlier, but that might have been a hit and run that had been called with 1 out.
Did you say it was bigger than your yard in Broad Ripple?
It is, yeah. Broad Ripple yards are not very large.
When you live south, you gotta have a Kubota when you live where I live.
You have less sidewalk, more yard in your neck of the woods.
That's
that
right.
one trails away, and the count goes to 1-2. I grew up having a tractor with a pull behind to mow 2 acres as a kid.
There you go, yeah.
I have a 15-minute push mow these days.
15 minutes.
Now the temperature has to get above 50 for me to actually mow at some point in time, but we're not there yet. 1-2. Runner goes. Curveball does not matter. Had Curiel tied in knots. Second strikeout in 7 batters faced, and a 0 goes on the board yet again. To the bottom half of the second we go. Scoreless in this Crossroads League affair here on ISC and Comcast 81.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by AAA Roofing. AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours. So trust the pros at AAA. That's who we call. Alongside Rob Brown, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Those are some of the, I believe, some of the alums enjoying today's action out in left field. There is adequate bleacher space, by the way, behind home plate.
Plenty of bleacher room.
But others prefer the left field lounge, if you will.
With a windscreen. That's the key component out there in left center field.
Left field lounge might be intellectual property statement.
I was just thinking,
stepping on Chris Lamonis' territory.
That's Stark Vegas right there.
This may be more of Stark Reno
yes.
with our conditions today. Stark Atlantic City. So J.J. Rivera will step to the plate. Rivera 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in, starting right fielder. Lefty versus lefty here. First pitch swinging, gets that between the 56 hole. Base hit for Rivera.
Broken back, he's torn labrum, don't stop him.
So the leadoff man is aboard. And here comes A.J. Bourdonnais to the plate.
Now batting for Marian, number 12, the shortstop, A.J. Bourdonnais.
And of course, we have had the pleasure, much like Trey Hylage, of having A.J. on our cameras many times over on the ISC Sports Network because he played at Central Catholic High School. His CC team had been in 2A the last several years. They are back in 1A this year, which means they are a favorite to win the 1A championship this year. For legendary head coach Tim Bourdonnais. AJ thinking about putting the bunt down. And having seen Central Catholic about 2 or 3 times last year, AJ was the leadoff hitter as a senior last year, just because they wanted him to come up as many times as possible. He's hitting a team-high .405 and batting in the number 6 position as a true freshman. Third lefty in the lineup for Coach Bacon in the top 6 batters. Watches that one, and 1-1 the count.
And if you were making a list of the top high school baseball coaches in the last 25 years, his dad, Tim, is on that short list.
We referenced Dave Pishker.
Also the athletic director at Lafayette Central Catholic.
Yep. Of course, he got a little hiring work to do now at Central Catholic, but
He
Dave
does.
Barrett announcing his retirement.
First time in a while.
After 17 successful seasons as the boys basketball coach. And his son Clark will be coming here to Marian University to play the quarterback position. Rivera leaning that shoulder, but now he will go, and this one could be a line and into him double play, and nothing you can do about that. Little hit and run that time, and because the shortstop was covering the bag, he walked right into the path of that one. That is as easy as you like. 6-3 double play, and there's 2 down.
Batting for the Knights, number 11, the first baseman, Bryce Davenport.
Here comes Bryce Davenport. Davenport from Moeller High School. He picked the McMahon family. Here
I was
comes
just
the
getting
money.
ready to ask you that. Was that Shane McMahon's
as his walk-up song, and that's a song you're going to be hearing more of in the state of Indiana, because Shane's son Declan just committed to play football at Indiana University.
Preferred walk-on, I believe, right?
So I would imagine, I don't think scholarships in need in the McMahon family. I think they're okay.
That wasn't my that wasn't where I was going with that, but
So
yes.
I would
right.
assume Shane O'Mac might be asked to, participate in some crowd firing up at home football games.
Absolutely.
At the Rock coming up this fall. Davenport, young man from Cincinnati suburbs, and he attended Archbishop Moeller High School. And there's just a bit of history in terms of baseball at Moeller High School.
Everybody thinks football, but baseball is pretty strong as well.
That Griffey guy played his high school baseball at Moeller High School. So he was pretty good. Count full at 3-2. Wraps this one on the ground. First baseman should win the foot race. He will. And the bottom of the second goes by in a flash. We are still scoreless through 2 in the first half of this doubleheader as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
I love Marian University.
An exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Let's take this time to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Fellas in the truck today, Derek Schultz, Jordan Shue, Alan Hughes. Thanks to Rob Lynch, Dennis Glover, Eric Connect, and Richard Feely. Doing the yeoman's job on our cameras today. This Marian baseball season began in early February, but it ends coming up with a weekend set against Indiana Wesleyan, April 29th and 30th. Indiana Wesleyan and Taylor over the last few years have been the baseball powers in this league. Crossroads League tournament play is 4 weeks away, which is crazy to think when it snowed this morning.
Yeah, it snowed in Perry Township on the south side this morning for about 15, 20 minutes. I know it didn't take long to cover your palatial yard in Broader.
No, I do not have a tarp to cover the yard. But there was a little snow on the patio furniture when I woke up this morning.
Now, how do they determine the site for the Crossroads tournament? Our guy Mitch is going to tell us here in a minute.
Leading off the third inning for
Jake
Grace
Cox
College,
will
number 9, Jake Cox.
lead things off. Young man from Union, Ohio, Northmont High School. Jake hitting 154 on the season. No home runs, 10 runs batted in. That misses 1-0 the count. Taylor and their spectacular turf facility will be hosting the conference tournament. Well, Marian will play host to the softball tournament, and we will televise that on the ISC Sports Network May 5th and May 6th. Count it 1-1 for Enfield. Pitch number 35 of the game for Enfield. Misses, 2-1 the count.
Again, Winch has tried to frame that one just to give Alex Shearer a look at it.
Got it. 2-2 the count.
And you see what he did there? He pulled that one in. Pulled that one in about 3 inches back into the zone.
Here's our broadcast location right behind home plate today. Wonderful accommodations. Curveball sprayed foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. Marian will work in some rare non-conference play over the next couple of weeks. Going to play home and away with Thomas More, as that one just misses off the corner. 3-2 the count. Thomas More on their way to the Division II ranks in the near future at the NCAA level. You'll get a look at that one just off the corner. Payoff pitch. And missed that one too. So leadoff man is aboard for the first time for Grace, and it's the second walk issued by Enfield. Here comes Patrick Danforth.
Now batting for the Lancers, number 2, Patrick.
My partner referenced back just a couple of young men from Central Indiana on the Grace starting lineup. Here's another. Patrick is from Monrovia High School. The ever-expanding metropolis.
Absolutely.
Of Monrovia High School. As every warehouse known to man is starting to go in at exit 59 on I-70. Real estate folks realizing, hey, the airport's like 7 miles away.
Yeah, that's a school that I could see, Monrovia High School, see that enrollment increasing by 20% the next decade easily.
They have moved into the 3A ranks in terms of both football and their other classified sports. Enrollment at Monrovia is at about the 600 mark these days. And they're members of the Indiana Crossroads Conference that had a member win a state championship just a couple of weeks ago, that being Beech Grove in boys basketball. This one wrapped past the third baseman, Heinlich. That will be a base hit. Runner will round second and head to third. Danforth behind the play will make it a double. First base hit for Grace, first extra base hit for either side, and first time that either team has had a pair of runners on the base paths here in the top half of the third.
That ball was on Heinlich, and he was in a couple steps at the corner. That ball was on him so quickly, he couldn't, by the time he reacted, it was already by him into left field.
For what it's worth, with a runner on first and nobody out, and the number 9 hitter at the plate, I'm playing that ball the exact same way Heinlich was.
No question. Yeah, he's playing bunt.
Here comes Griffin, so back to the top of the lineup. And Griffin, the DH, popped up to Bourdonnais in his first plate appearance. Middle infield playing back, so a ground ball there scores a run. They're in at the corners. That's in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Time to start the debate on a 40-degree day about wearing batting gloves when you're at the plate. Griffin does not. This one lifted foul and will get behind the Marian dugout. 0-2 the count.
That's a Moises Alou flashback right there. Sans batting gloves.
Now Moises spent some time on this campus as a youth because his dad at the time was the manager of the Indianapolis Indians.
It's a great callback. Yep.
Swing and a miss. Winch has picked it cleanly. So there's one down. That's a key out for Marian. Here's Pollock. Struck out his previous plate appearance. No change in how the infield is positioned here for Pollock. Fly ball would also suffice in terms of getting that first run over, and we'll see if it plays out that way. Coming in to make the play. Runner tags, and they won't make a throw. The ball was dropped, but great job by our base umpire to immediately say, hey, he dropped it on the transfer of the ball out of the glove, but dropping the ball by the center fielder in Portulato and had any chance to get the runner at home.
Yeah.
2 outs, 1-0 Grace.
As you see on the replay, it's a great play by Portulato to make that charge, but the home plate umpire, the base umpire rather, is right on that. Makes the running grab, and then as he tries to transfer on the, you see on the replay, he can't get it cleanly into his hand. I think had he been able to transfer that cleanly, there might have been a play because he was coming toward the plate with his momentum.
Let's give Pollock an RBI for the sacrifice fly, his 30th of the season. So Lancers are on the board 1-0. Here's Rich. Rich popped up. Last time up. Here, curveball is described as 12-6. That was like 10-4. 1-0 the count. Rich with 31 runs batted in this season. Fastball misses, 2-0 the count. We're playing 9 in this game. We'll play 7 in game number 2. Given the gray condition, the lights have already been kicked on today. We'll play with them throughout the afternoon. Off the corner, 3-0 the count.
And thank goodness the lights were on. It told me where to park. It was almost like a beacon telling me which way to go and turn off.
Like any good high school broadcaster, look for the lights.
Look for the lights. That's exactly right.
Rich taking all the way. Letter high fastball in for a strike. This one smacked, knocked the glove off of Enfield. He recovers in time, and now he will have a chance to digest the life flashback that just occurred as that ball was straight at him. Well done by Enfield. Wow. Not just to limit the damage to 1, but to, not get beamed on that one.
And it took the glove off his hand. He picked it up with the free hand, walked it toward first base, and nonchalantly tossed it over to first for the out.
Well done by the pitcher. Let's go to the bottom half of the third, shall we? 1-0 Grace leads on ISC and Comcast 81.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
8, 9, and 1 coming up this time through for the Marian University Knights. Reinhold, Winchus, and Cato. Alongside Rob Brown, Greg Rakestraw with you. First of 2 today here from Marian University ISC, and thanks to those of you joining us statewide on Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81.
There's a little precept coming down. See that in our shot there?
Yeah, there are always promotions in minor league baseball, heck, Major League Baseball as well. Today was Bring Your Own Firewood Day here at the ballpark.
Yes.
So Reinhold, the DH, batting $158, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Young man from Franklin High School. Brody will probably be able to tell his kids down the years that he had a chance to play with a first-round draft pick in his high school days, because one of the top prospects for next year in the MLB draft is a junior at Franklin High School currently.
Max Clark, tremendous talent. Tremendous talent.
1-1. Fouled straight back.
And Clark's issue may be deciding whether or not he's going to play in the field or pitch, because he's adept at both.
My guess is a team will decide that for him.
Yes. As will his draft slot and the corresponding contract.
1-2. Wrapped on the ground, third baseman charges and could not pick it cleanly. Would have been tough, but that is an error on the third baseman. And the leadoff man is aboard for a second time in as many innings. Last time there was a double play involved. And take a look here.
Yeah.
Again, tough play, but Mercurial would like to have had again on the third base line.
That ball was hit so slowly, though, to charge the ball was his only play.
Yep. And again, it's, even if the weather conditions have been brisk over the last few weeks, it's still a shag carpet right now down here at Marian. He's going to slow that ball up. Winch's looking to bunt. Winch's from Vancouver.
You ever been to Vancouver?
I have not. My wife has.
It's tremendous.
And has raved about it.
It's tremendous. In my NBA days in the early 2000s, it was my favorite road trip. Tremendous city.
For those that don't know, my partner used to work for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Before things got good. Let me preface that.
Quick toss back.
Vancouver has the diversity and international flavor of New York City without the grime and the crime. And the seascape, it's tremendous. Highly recommend.
That's foul ball to bunt.
I don't know if Winchester has been put in this position often because he does not look comfortable.
No.
Laying a bunt down.
Batting .253 on the season, home run, and 15 runs batted in. Not sure if Winchester is old enough to remember the days of minor league baseball in Vancouver, or the Pacific Coast League. It's been a while since the Vancouver Canadians were around. It's in for a strike. Used to be you had Ottawa in the International League.
I've got a Vancouver Canadians hat at home.
Edmonton playing in the Pacific Coast League.
Yep. I have both a Vancouver Canadians hat at home and a Calgary Cannons hat.
Thank you. Knew there was one more I was leaving out. Swinging away, and this one sprayed foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. This marks the first trip through the lineup for Marian. Cook is giving up an infield single to Hogue. A base knock to left field by J.J. Rivera. Now the error here. Just keeping Reinhold honest at first base. Reinhold does not have a stolen base on the season. Only made one attempt at one.
And really,
2-2.
The first time through the order, the two hardest balls hit today have been outs. The line out that Marian had in the last inning, and the line out that the pitcher infield knocked down to end the top half of the third.
Excuse me, swing. That could get in there. And it will. Perfectly placed. I'm not sure you'll see a better wedge at Augusta National this weekend than what Winch's just did. Runners on the corners, and how about this? Both teams have their 8 and 9 guys get on in their first trip to the plate. Winch's was absolutely fooled. Just threw his hands at it, trying to stay alive. And that was a triple bullseye on the dartboard that time from Winch's.
And we've got a courtesy runner, Caden Mason, running for the catcher, Winch's, out at first base.
Winch's can go back and get the gear on. And on a cold day like today, you don't mind that if you're the catcher.
No.
So to the plate comes Cato. Cato, a ground ball to second, his previous plate appearance. Middle infielders playing back. They'll try to turn two and allow the run to score. Trying to, not a full-on squeeze, but more of the safety variety that time for Cato, and also maybe just trying to drag his way on for a base hit. Lefty versus lefty. Toss back to Mason. Just to keep him honest. Mason is 7 for 7 in terms of stolen base tries. Knights as a team have been rather successful in thieving bags. 64 of 73 coming in. And Cook is convinced that Mason is going.
And you mentioned that bunt attempt on the first pitch with the first baseman holding the runner and the left-hand pitcher falling away from the mound to the third base side. Cato could push one out into just on the other side of the mound to the first base side. He could beat it out.
Cato got fooled on that one. The count goes to 0-2, and you would think with nobody out, that would take the bunt opportunity away.
Yeah.
Wasted pitch there, 1-2. Hogue awaits on deck. Runner goes. Cato lifts it foul, and Mason will make a U-turn. And again, if you're at no strikes or one strike, maybe you can afford to let that one go by if you're Cato. You don't have that luxury in a 1-2 count. Knowing that Mason had a pretty good jump on that play.
Yeah, he's had 34 at bats, has Mason, but he's 7 for 7 in stolen bases. So he certainly is a threat down there.
Once again, the count at 1-2. Ground ball, first baseman goes to second. With that, the runner will score. Throw back to first, not in time. Not only does Cato break up the double play because he was scampering down the line, he gets an RBI for his efforts. So Reinhold scores, and we're tied at 1. Runner on first and 1 down. For Cato, that's RBI number 22 on the season as he reaches on the fielder's choice. I'm not sure if I'm the first baseman. You can play that any differently in that scenario.
No, but Pollock's throw to second base was low, and that half second that the shortstop had to go low to get it, Cox went down to get it. That cost them getting Cato at first.
Here's Hogue. Cato on the season 4 of 5 in terms of stolen base tries. He needs a relace of a shoe, hence the momentary pause. Hogue, an infield hit to the third baseman his first time up. Hogue at 354, third best. This Marian team, they are batting .306 on the season. If you wonder, okay, what computes? You're 14 and 18, you're batting north of 300. Well, the issue is they have been dealing with a rash of pitching injuries that date back to the fall.
Yep. And you end up with a team ERA north of 6 at the moment.
And they have some stats that are reminiscent of a steroid-era American League team at this juncture. Count at 1-1.
The old Denver Bears of the AAA back in the 80s.
The entirety Pacific Coast League.
Yeah.
It almost has to be an explanation of pitcher stats if you play in that half of AAA. The grass will slow this one down. It could be another infield hit. Safe. And I'm not sure if that was as much Hogue beating the throw or Pollock trying to stretch and get the ball. May have lifted his foot off the bag. Either way, a grass cutter by Hogue. There's runners on first and second for Marian.
Well, when you see a replay on this, I think the shortstop Cox sat back on it a little bit, had to go to his right. He just beat it out.
Base hit, second of the infield variety for Hogue. Here comes Mateo Portulato. Conversation.
You know it's cold when the head coach has a stocking cap on his head with the sunglasses on the brim of the stocking cap.
Partner, you and I are both broadcasting with headgear fitting underneath headphones today, and we're in the press box.
We're inside, yes.
Which is not heated, but still out of the element.
We are out of the wind, yes.
Now, thankfully, somebody started a small fire in here about 7 a.m., so we're in good shape. Off speed misses. Count at 1-0. Portulato struck out looking. On a 2-2 fastball last time up. Only strikeout that Cook has recorded at this point. Didn't get the corner that time, did Cook. Missed it just a bit wide. 2-0 the count.
Portulato has a chance to make this a big inning with just only one out, one already in.
Kind of 3-0. Don't think you're giving your number 3 hitter the green light here in this scenario.
No, especially when Cook has had trouble finding the plate in this inning.
Looking that one in all the way. Now you're thinking about a good pitch to hit if you're Portulato.
Yep.
Pitcher's pitch, yep. Portulato, I think, made the right call that time, not offering it that one.
Cook has been able to hit spots with that off-speed pitch when he's been behind the count so far through this first 3 innings.
Payoff pitch here. Got the outside corner again. So those are 3 outstanding pitches. The first one's kind of an easy one at 3-0. But he goes knees and then opposite corner.
That's a tremendous job
Number 5, Trey
by Cook.
Heidlich.
Not afraid to throw that pitch on the edge with the full count and 2 runners on.
Here's Heidlich. Hit one hard, but at the right fielder his last time up. Going to extend the inning. He's the 6th batter to the plate in the bottom half of the 3rd. And this one, off the end of the bat, shook it down for a base hit, it will. Runner gets the wave around from second. He'll score, no throw. Heidlich with the RBI, and Marian, a 2-1 lead.
Danforth, the center fielder, got a late jump on that one. May have dropped regardless in front of him, but that ended any chance. He stumbled kind of coming out of his break.
Following the RBI single, batting for the Knights, number 21, J.J. Rivera.
Here's Rivera. Slapped one on the ground between shortstop and third his previous time up. He does that again. That could result in another run here for Marian. And literally puts that ball same spot. They'll give Heidlich the wave around. And again, that grass hold everything. However, play at third base, not in time. That was a risky proposition by Heidlich, because there was a chance he could have been tagged out there before the runner touched home plate. Third baseman couldn't make the play. Everybody is safe, and hustle by Rivera to take second behind the play. We'll make it 3-1 now in favor of Marian.
Well, to your point, Greg, the ball beat Heidlich to the bag, but the throw handcuffed Curiel a little bit, and that gave Heidlich the freedom to get in safely.
Meeting of the minds going to take place at the mound here for Grace. Again, it's not been a lot of balls that have been, walloped or anything along those lines. Just you've kind of found the right holes in the diamond. Think about Winchus with the seeing eye pop-up that nestled behind the first baseman and front of the right fielder.
Well, prior to that swing by Rivera, Cox, the shortstop, is playing cat and mouse with the runner at second base, and he's 2 steps, 3 steps over toward the bag. That put him out of position to make that play. If he's playing in a normal position, that's a force out at second for the last out of the inning.
Down batting for the Knights, number 12, the shortstop, A.J. Bourdonnais.
So Bourdonnais, who did hit it hard last time he was up, happened to hit right where the shortstop was drifting towards the second base bag. And there will be some mound activity that begins the bullpen now for the Lancers. Misses.
That's Kyle Ayton, the sophomore right-hander, down there in the bullpen for Grace.
Two and 0 the count. It's a Marian team whose last action came on Monday. Lost a doubleheader at Bethel. 10-6 and 12-11. It's a Marian team that looking for just their second win in this building this year. They are 1-9 at home.
That's hard to believe.
12-7 on the road. That misses. In future news, the team will be staying at a local Motel 6 for the rest of the season. 3-0 the count. Taken all the way, that's in for a strike. Fastball at the knees and on the corner. This is batter number 8 to come to the plate this inning. Ball 4. That was the first walk issued by Cook. The bases are now loaded. Here comes Davenport.
Batting for the Knights, number 11, Bryce Davenport.
Tapper to the first baseman last time up. Sky high pop up. Catcher drifting over. Third baseman coming in. Should be a play. It's Cosme, and the inning is over. Marian scores 3, leaves 3 on the base pass. They'll still take the result of this inning as they dent home plate for the first time today. They lead 3-1 here on ISC and Comcast Xfinity, Cable Channel 81.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Enfield pitching with a lead for the first time today as we enter the top half of the 4th inning. Carr, Newkirk, Cosme, 4, 5, and 6 to up this time through for the Lancers of Grace College. We hope you were watching this someplace warm today on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast Xfinity Cable Channel 81. Looks like the Marian has not played since Monday. Weather forecast gets warmer as of tomorrow. Marian is scheduled to play at Huntington in a makeup from a couple of weeks ago on Monday. They will play a single game. Well, that game was postponed against Thomas More on Wednesday. And they will head to Spring Arbor this coming weekend. Crossroads League action.
Leading off the fourth inning for Grace College, number 10, Austin Carr.
Here's Carr. Carr a pop up to the second baseman last time through. 1-0 the count. Infield has struck out 3. He has walked 2. Allowed 1 hit, 1 run last inning. That was an earned run.
Entered this inning with 50 pitches. You wonder how deep that count goes. Maybe 90.
Line drive past the shortstop. Base hit. It's the second inning in a row with a leadoff man is aboard. That ball is hard hit as almost any we have seen today. There was a double last time up by Danforth down the third base line.
Now batting for Grace, number 5, Sam Newkirk.
Here's Newkirk. Had the lengthy at bat, but he won by working a walk. You see that wristband that he's electing to wear as a belt buckle. Ball in the dirt. Winch is able to stay in front of it. No further advance from first base by Carr. So Grace goes with kind of the signals where you can look down, check the wristband, whatever it may be, in terms of trying to avoid any sort of sign stealing. Popped up. Winches gives it a look. That one lands about 4 rows deep into the bleachers to our left.
Just over Tim Bourdonnais' head, who's over there in the bleachers.
I'm amazed that Tim doesn't have a game himself today at Central
I
Catholic.
was thinking the
Although
same
you
thing.
would assume, again, high school's a little quicker to postpone on a day like this than the colleges. Just happy that Tim gets a chance to come watch AJ play.
Yeah.
I would imagine those are kind of few and far between.
You would think.
Once you get to April 1st, the advent of the high school season. 2-1 the count. Popped up. And this one in the grounds. Center fielder coming in on the sprint makes the play. And I'll tell you what, if Davenport was just a little closer to first, there might have been a play.
Thought about it.
Yep.
He thought about it. Porcelado looked over that way. His momentum was taking him toward first base.
Here's Cosme. Fly ball to left field. First time up. A sky-high pop-up. Infield working on his Tom Browning impersonation today. Because so far, of the 10 outs he has recorded, 6 of them have been of the airborne variety.
Mm-hmm.
Curveball, a beauty. As a catcher, Cosme can appreciate that one that had him going in the wrong direction. And Enfield all smiles about his offering.
That's a great pitch.
0-2.
Enfield has looked very comfortable on the mound. The pacing has been to his liking.
Just that one high and in tight, 1-2.
Really, the only time he's looked uncomfortable was when he was about decleated on that line drive to end the third.
He handled that one awfully well. Foul tip. Cosme certainly looks the part at the plate.
He's got good size for a catcher, especially. Only a freshman.
Doesn't give chase on that one. 2-2 the count. Most physically imposing catcher I've ever seen. You referenced Tim Bourdonnais. Played for Tim at Lafayette Central Catholic. Name is Coy Cronk, going to play 5 years as an offensive lineman in the Big Ten. Another airborne, likely out. Portulato was on a dead sprint last time. This time it's more of a slow drift towards right field, and there's 2 down. Imagine looking at a high school catcher and seeing 6'5" and 280.
I never saw him play high school baseball, but I saw plenty of him playing the 4 spot for Dave Barrett's basketball team. He set a Jeff Ruland-like screens at the top of the circle.
You know, of all the references I thought we would make, the Jeff Ruland was not in there.
Was not on your bingo card?
That was not, no.
Little snow coming down.
0-1 to count. Juriel struck out last time up. I think 321 on the season. Just inside, 1-1. Thankfully, this weather system is on its way out. Much warmer temperatures slated for tomorrow. Most highs this week supposed to be in the 60s and 70s, finally. Count it 1-2. Curveball just broke out of the zone. What the Curiel could have done with that one if it had made its way across home plate.
It's like the gathering out in left field has grown in size.
In there, strike 3. So second time that he has made the right turn of the dugout after a strikeout. We are through 3.5 here at Marian. Knights maintaining a 3-1 lead. As you're watching on ISC and Comcast 81.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Look inside the Marian dugout. They lead by a score of 3-1. Today's game on ISC, presented in part by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. And now you see why the gathering has grown out there in left field. I think we have borrowed the heaters that were designed to be in downtown Indy for the Super Bowl 10 years ago. So it's 40 degrees around the infield. It's mid to upper 60s out there in left field as we speak.
I highly recommend those heat lamps. I got one as a Father's Day gift a few years back, and I use it frequently.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for your Knights, number 9, Brody Reinhold.
Here's Reinhold. And Knights batted around last time. He reached on an error and would score the first run of the game for the Knights. 3 runs all unearned. Because Reinhold was the first to score and did so, and there were a couple of outs.
Cook threw 23 pitches through the first 2 innings, threw 32 in that third.
Well-placed ground balls for Marian. That's in for a strike. Got the very top of the zone, 0-2. Didn't miss by much. 1-2. Off the hands. Sprays that one foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. And a reminder, next Saturday we'll have Marian University softball for you here on ISC and Comcast 81. Swing and a miss. Reinhold had visions of hitting that one towards the PE Center. Could not connect, and there's one down.
You know, I just noticed this, Greg.
The catcher, number 14, Dion Winches.
Cosme, the catcher
saw
for
the
Grace,
same
is
thing.
wearing an earpiece.
Yep.
He's got a wire coming down the right side of his neck, disappearing into his jersey. No doubt getting the signals from the dugout that way.
And I assume because it's visible, this is not some sort of Jose Altuve operation we're talking about here. This is all above board. Count goes to 1-0, and obviously this is now being discussed in terms of.
Well, they're using it now in the big leagues.
Correct. Here's Winches. A perfectly placed pop-up. Last time up. A line drive in the box score.
I had never seen this before, but last night watching a big league game, a pitcher was taken out of the game, and he handed the transmitter. He pulled his hat off, pulled the transmitter out, and handed it to his manager, along with the baseball.
2-1 the count. I would say that is a bit of an overreaction. Then again, I understand Major League Baseball trying to avoid having their world champions, as this one is lined into center field. Great diving play. Danforth with the catch, and there's two down. But to finish the thought, I would assume Major League Baseball is tired of the butt of jokes being the Houston Asterisks. I've just made two Astros reference in the bottom half of this inning, so maybe it's not an overreaction at all. Two down. Well struck ball by Winches, but well played by Danforth in center. Here's Cato. Fielder's choice RBI, scored a run last time up. Just a bit high. Of course, there's a lot of talk about, is the shift going to go away? Is that going to be legislated out of the game? I haven't seen anything like that today. This one turned right center field, but plenty of time, and Danforth makes the play. And for the first time today, other than a double play, the Knights are retired in order. We have played 4 here at Marian. Home team leads by 2 on ISC and Comcast 81.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I chose Marian for the business program.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today at marian.edu.
Saturday nights off a year. I think I'm going to go see Pearl Jam in Louisville in September.
Okay.
I've never seen them in concert. They're playing at the Outdoor Pavilion in conjunction with the Kentucky Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Part of the big Bourbon Festival down there.
Sure.
Like a 4-day music fest.
Yep.
So here's Cox. Cox, the lone run to score today for Grace. Drew a walk to start the third. Moved to third on the double from Danforth and would score on the Jeff Pollock sacrifice fly to center field.
You know, I was told when I was a young kid by my grandfather that if you have a day where you don't learn something, it's a wasted day.
Cox turns on this one. Let's see if it gets down. Left fielder coming in, can't get to it. It is a base hit, and Cox is on as a leadoff man for a second time in as many plate appearances, and then a third consecutive time the Lancers got the leadoff man aboard.
And what I learned today was don't throw a handful of chili-flavored pistachios in your mouth right when your partner's about to ask you a question.
See, I would have stopped you at chili-flavored pistachios.
These things are tremendous.
Here's Danforth, the Monrovia grad. We're going to see Monrovia baseball coming up on ISC in a couple of weeks. Danforth puts a bunt down infield. Right play. Might have had a play at second. I never fault the pitcher for taking the automatic out. Make sure you don't make the situation worse. Danforth, a successful sacrifice. Top of the lineup comes from the runner in scoring position.
And I think that's an even easier decision with a 2-run lead.
Yep.
1-run lead, maybe you think about it. But 2-run lead, absolutely. Take the out.
If they're going to give you an out, take it. Here's Griffin. 0 for 2, struck out last time up. The rare case of the leadoff DH.
And he is third in Grace program history with 17 home runs on the career list. That's 4 this year.
In for a strike. Of course, Griffin part of the group like any of these kids who were on campus 2 years ago that got to play a handful of spring baseball games, but saw their season come to an end in mid-March. Good secondary lead by Cox. Griffin waves at that one, and the count goes to 0-2. So, of course, you got some cases, young men that have been in college 5, 6 years at this point. Some cases 7. Get a couple of red shirts, transfer year, etc. This one will be in foul territory. No play can be made on that one.
Who was the big kid that played for Kansas, Lightfoot? He played in 160-some games at Kansas.
Jalen Coleman Lands from Indianapolis was part of that Kansas team.
Yes, he was.
Cleared 170 career games.
Mm-hmm.
Count is 0-2. Follow up that Coleman Lands thought in a second. This one misses high. So Kyle Nedrip, good friend of both yours and mine. That
yes.
was the lead high school, frankly, sports writer in the state, but for the Indianapolis Star. Noted that Coleman Lands got his first scholarship offer like the summer before his freshman year of high school. 11 years later, he played in the national championship game. 1-2 pitch. This one misses inside. Good job by Winches to slide over and stop it. The count goes to 2-2.
What'd be interesting would be to how many of those coaches that offered Coleman Lands early in his high school career are still employed at their current at those same schools.
Not many.
I would bet it's less than half.
Count now to 2-2. Foul ball. Got him in the batter's box. Foul ball.
Got him right in the foot.
Yep. And not a good. There's never a good day for that, but especially today.
Yeah, today is less than ideal.
Yep.
To take that ball right off the front foot.
Get a great look at it here, and
yep, right off the toe.
An immediate reaction. Good news is for Mr. Griffin, he gets to kind of recover in the dugout for an inning or two. Go put that in normally you'd say a bucket of ice. Maybe a small fire might be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
To thaw it out. Curveball got him, and Griffin knew it. Just a pitcher's pitch right there, 2 down. Second time that Griffin has gone down by way of the K. 4th in total. Make it 5, excuse me.
Yeah, infield has struck out at least one batter in every inning. That's a big one there with 2 outs.
I like the RBI for Grace his last time up. He finds himself in a somewhat similar scenario here, except this time a fly ball would not get the job done. Has to be a base knock. In my totals, Enfield have thrown 11 innings all year. He is sitting on inning number 5.
78 pitches.
Swing and a miss. Tantalizing off-speed pitch that Pollock could not lay off of. And the count at 1-1. Considering the weather conditions, a pretty good crowd on hand today here at Marian. Alumni Day certainly helps. Got it. Curveball of beauty, 1-2 the count. Enfield really doing a good job of locating that breaking ball that's starting outside the zone and bending in. A.J. Bourdonnais holding on. Jay Cox there. Off the end of the bat. Third baseman over. Bit of a tough hop. Throws to first. Not in time. Throw gets away from the first baseman, and that allowed the run to score. Davenport can hang on to that at first base. Runner's going to stay at third, but
yes,
as that ball got away, it's a gift run for Grace, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, it got away from Davenport, then he couldn't locate it. Eilidge couldn't transfer it cleanly, rushed the throw.
Good heads-up run, and he hesitated for a moment, but was ready to make the jump down the line. So that lead peeled down to 1. We'll give that as an infield single, but then an error on top of that allows the run to come around and score. And of the 5 runs scored today, only 1 of them at this point is earned.
You go the error on the throw there?
Correct.
Yeah.
So even though the first baseman's got to do a better job of keeping that in front of him, you still put it on the throw.
Yeah, the throw's in the dirt. Yep.
And I say that as a former first baseman, by the way.
Well
Take
played.
that for what it's worth.
Well played.
2-0 pitch. Smacked. Left center. Drifting back. This one at the base of the wall. We're going to have a tie ball game. Stopping at second will be Rich. That is a 2-out RBI double, and we're tied at 3.
Boy, how quickly things can change. Enfield was a pitch away from getting out of the inning. And then all of a sudden, just 2 pitches later, it's a tie ball game.
And for base number 10, Austin Carr.
Austin Carr singled last time up. And activity is going to start to pick up here for the Knights. Popped up. Right fielder drifting in. Appears to be no trouble. It's not. That's Rivera, and the inning is over. But a 2-out rally by the Lancers has tied this game at 3, as we're at the halfway point of game number 1. Back in a moment here on ISC and Comcast 81.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Tied at 3 at Marian University. Look at it. Cato Wagner Hall, one of the many new buildings on campus, just past the right field fence. Today's game presented in part by BSN Sports, the official outfitter of Marian University Athletics. Thanks to all of our friends at BSN Sports for their support of the Marian University Knights.
Flight path. We mentioned we're in the flight path.
There were a couple of military planes that flew over this area last night that got my attention. Because where I live is kind of diagonal northeast, so I tend to live in the flight path too.
Yep.
Obviously a little closer to the airport here on your way to the southwest corner of town, but a couple of low-banking aircraft that popped out of the clouds and not too high up. I'm like, what's a little unsettling.
Number 3, Jackson Hogue.
Jackson Hogue will lead things off.
And Craig Nixon, the junior right-hander, getting loose in the Knights bullpen.
2, 3, and 4 coming up this time through. Hogue has singled twice, scored once, and able to lay off of Cook's offering. Well, I would say this is a successful start for Enfield if he is done at this point.
Yes.
Getting you into the 6th inning. Not sure if we'll see him come back out for maybe at least to start the 6th or not. 2-0 the count.
Yeah, when you start a guy that's pitched 11 innings on the season and you get 5 quality innings out of him where he gives up 3 runs, and I believe only 1 of them was earned. 2 earned. That's a good start.
Would you like me to nerd out and explain why 2 runs were earned and not a third?
No, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm tracking with you.
Because I got no problem being a big nerd on a broadcast. I'm okay with that.
I'll let you run a little bit, but I think I'm with you on this one.
2-1 to count. Portulato awaits on deck. Lifts this one. Right field. Got some good carry to it. Right fielders thought when he first had a swing out of the right field to come in, he did not. Newkirk had to drift back, but made the play. Hogue retired as an out for the first time, and there's 1 away.
Now batting for the Knights, number 13, the center fielder, Mateo Portulato.
Portulato, who was struck out looking twice. First one I thought might have been on him. Last 2, last 1, that was all the prowess of Cook at the mound. Want to know the count. This one towards center field. Center fielder drifting. Has plenty of time and space, and there's 2 away. And Cook has taken a page out of Enfield's book in terms of getting some fly ball outs.
He's retired 6 straight. Longest stretch of success he's had today.
Here comes Heidlich.
Number 5, Trey Heidlich.
Singled last time up. Got an RBI for his efforts. His 20th on the campaign. Hit it hard twice today. Line drive to the right fielder to end the home half of the first. Casually watches that one go over his shoe tops. 1-0 the count. Turns on that one, 1-1. By the way, I was trying to think of the Major League broadcaster that is known for wearing the headgear that you're rocking today.
Well, Richie Ashburn, the late, great Phillies broadcaster, former player, Hall of Fame center fielder, used to wear hats like this when it was chilly in April in Philadelphia.
I was going to go with Ernie Harwell.
Ernie Harwell as well. Indeed, yes.
Legendary voice of the Detroit Tigers. 2-2 the count. And I have a bit more interest in the Tigers these days, with Tucker Barnhart now being a member of the Detroit Tigers.
Tigers won a wild one in a walk-off yesterday.
Ground ball. Tough hop. That's a base hit. Because there's nothing that Curiel could have done about that one. That was a hop that gobbled him up. So back-to-back base hits for Heidlich.
Handcuffed on that one.
Yep. Just glad I didn't hit him in the face, to be honest with you. Watch this thing just catapult.
Yep, caught the lip, right where the grass and the dirt come together.
Here's J.J. Rivera, pair of singles today. Had an RBI his last time up. Raises the outside corner for a strike. Outfield trade away here for Rivera, who has gone the opposite way both times. I'd have been a good pitch to do that on, too. Wasn't expecting, I think, that fastball to catch that much of the plate, and the count goes to 0-2. Just missed. Tough pitch, 0-2. So after today, my friend, when is your next baseball call?
We've got two next week. One home game against Brebeuf on Wednesday night, conference game, and then a rivalry game with Franklin Central a week from today. We may see those conference games are back-to-backs, home and homes Tuesday, Wednesday in the Circle City Conference. So we may see on Wednesday night Andrew Dukanich.
Runner goes, popped up, 2 outs, doesn't matter. Shortstop, second baseman, shortstop makes the play, and inning is over. I'll let Rob finish that thought when we come back. We are tied through 5 here in game 1 of a doubleheader. 3 apiece between Grace and Marian. As you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Bourdonnais, Davenport, and Reinhold, the trio due up for Marian. Batters 6, 7, and 8. Bottom of the inning for Grace. We'll see Newkirk, Cosme, and Curiel. 5, 6, and 7 coming up this time through. And Enfield will at least get to start the 6th. But there is a full-on committee meeting that is going on now down in the bullpen for Marian.
Yeah, it's business has picked up, as Jim Ross would like to say. 86 pitches for Enfield through 5. Yeah, a lot of discussion, but not a lot of action right now. We expect that to pick up soon.
Here's Newkirk to lead things off. Fly ball to center field his last time up. Walk before that.
Leading off the 6th inning for Grace College, number 5, Sam Newkirk.
Newkirk batting north of 300 on the season. Listed on the roster as a catcher, but playing right field here in game number 1. Misses, 1-0 the count. DeSales High School, Louisville, Kentucky. This one lasered to right field, gets down for a base hit. So make it a 4th straight inning where the leadoff man gets aboard for the Lancers. And now with every base hit, every runner, you start glancing towards the bullpen to see who's ready, how close it is. And
batting for Grace, number 29, Josh Cosme.
I can see the wheels turning in Coach Bacon's mind as we speak. Cosme, fly ball to center field. Fly ball to left field first time up. Winches can't find it, but Kirk wasn't going anywhere just yet. Cosme pulled back on that one. Obviously no offering on that one. For what it's worth, Cook is starting to drift towards the bullpen. Cosme offered that one, couldn't get it down. Strike called for Grace, which tells me that his day may be done at this point.
They've had somebody up. Kyle Ayton was up earlier.
Cook has averaged right around 6 innings an outing on the season. Count goes to 2-1. Showing bunt again. Watch that one go by for strike, and now you think the bunt's coming off at 2-2. Cosme, just a quick glance back at the home plate umpire, and when you're the catcher, you're allowed to do that.
Yes.
And it wasn't in a accusatory look. It was more of just confirming where that ball was.
Yep, confirming location.
Now 3-2. Do you start the runner here at 3-2, my friend?
Yes. Yes, I do. And the right-hander in the bullpen for Marian is warming quickly. We'll get a number as soon as we get a chance here.
Runner staying put, swing and a miss. Big out for Enfield, 1 down. As my partner stated earlier, Enfield has gotten at least a strikeout in every inning. In fact, he's had exactly 1 in every inning. That's 6.
Pinch hitter.
Yep.
Pinch hitting for Grace, number 26, Lucas Slager.
So now batting is Lucas Slager. Slager from Kalamazoo, Michigan. This is Curiel's spot in the lineup. First pitch, and Enfield pops the mitt about as loudly as he has all day. Slager batting .303 on the season. This is his 15th appearance, 7 in a reserve role. 33 at bats, 10 hits, 5 runs scored, 3 runs batted in. 1-1 the count. And we're playing 9 in this game. Turn and play 7 in game number 2, approximately 30 minutes in between contests. In tight, got him, yep. Lefties always seem to crowd the plate a little bit more than right-handed hitters do, and so you get that more with the lefty where that ball's coming in on him and thinks it might be inside, actually clips the inside corner of the zone. Count it 1-2. Good time to throw back, because I just kind of noticed that Newkirk had extended that lead over at first as well.
And that's the first time in a couple innings that Enfield has made the quick move. It's been a leisurely throw over to lull the base runner. That was the quick slide step.
Off the hands, could be a problem. This one will get down for a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third. Throw to third base, tag applied, got him. There's 2 down. Now the throw clearly beat Newkirk to the bag. What he is saying is he thinks the tag missed him. But again, you'll often get the benefit of the doubt when the throw is that far ahead of the runner.
Yeah, the throw would beat him by a good 3 feet.
We'll get a look here. It's always a tough play to make that play when it's directly in front of you.
That's close.
Yeah.
That's close. And it's a tougher play because Bourdonnais, the shortstop, his body's going away from third base. He was the one who turned and made that throw.
So the put out recorded 6-5. Curiel will return to run in the spot where Slager had the pinch hit. So give Slager a hit. Unfortunately for Grace, it is a second out of the inning. And after watching the replay, I understand where Newkirk has a bit of a beef. I think Hyledge was still kind of bobbling that ball in his glove, which didn't allow him to kind of get the tag down properly.
Yep.
So perhaps a bit of a break for the home team. Runner at second, 2 down.
Or to take cookies out of the oven.
This one smacked into left field. They're going to give the runner the wave around. Left fielder charges. Will there be a play? No. Curiel scores and Grace is in front. What a day for Cox. He has reached base all 3 times. He has scored twice and now driven in a run. Not bad for a young man that was batting $154 coming into the game.
That's tremendous production out of your 8-hole hitter. Ryan Roth will take that all day.
A lot of the damage today has been done with 2 outs. This will mark the 3rd trip through the lineup for Enfield, and you would think this is probably the end of the line for him here.
Yeah, he's right at 100 on the pitch count.
And frankly, he has pitched well enough to have earned a win, as that one nearly clipped the jersey of Danforth. Right now, he is in a losing predicament, is Enfield, but.
Yeah, he's given his team 6 innings and given them a chance to win the game. They're in the game.
See if he can limit the damage to 1 in this inning. That one rattled the cage in terms of clipped off the face mask of the catcher in Winchus. Last time Danforth put down a sacrifice bunt. Doubled on a shot down the third base line in his previous plate appearance. Outside corner for a strike, 2-2 the count. Late decision to swing, probably a good one. That would have been a called strike 3. But again, 2-out production by Grace, and they are back in front for the first time since the top of the 3rd. They lead at 4-3. They're on ISC and Comcast 81.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I chose Marian for the business program.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
See the alumni gathering out in left field. They're having a good time watching their Knights today. Grace, though, has reclaimed the lead at 4-3 with 2 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. This reminder, fans, that joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. Learn more by logging on to MUKnights.com. Bourdonnais, Davenport, and Reinhold, the trio of players to up this time.
Leading off the 6th inning for the Knights, number 12, A.J. Bourdonnais.
So Bourdonnais. Walked his last time up. Line drive to the shortstop for a unfortunate double play. Count goes 2-0. In for a strike. Ooh. We saw Cook make his way to the bullpen. We thought he might be done for the day. He's not. Bourdonnais goes fishing. 2-2 the count. Bourdonnais into this game batting north of 400 on the season. Not bad as a freshman.
He's 3rd in the league right now in batting average. Player of the week a couple weeks ago.
Full count. Dad is so used to coaching in March and April and May. He's not wearing a stocking cap. Not wearing. No. This is just another April day to him. This one off the hand, should get down for a base hit. In fact, it's going to go for a while. Center fielder Bourdonnais hustling into second base. It's a stand-up double. The way that he hit that ball, I thought that's just going to kind of drop behind the shortstop. That ball just kept going. Two-bagger.
Well, it was slicing and had it was spinning away from the center fielder, and he took a tough angle to it.
Well, we were a batter premature in talking about Cook's absence from the game. They may have wanted him to go lefty versus lefty here on board Nay, and then they're going to make the move now. So his day will go 5 1/3 innings. We'll have a new pitcher coming on here for Grace.
It's Kyle Ayton, the sophomore right-hander out of Uniontown, Ohio, making his 10th appearance, 5th in relief.
Captain for Grace, number 7, Kyle Ayton.
So from lefty to righty. Ayton on the season. 6.21 his ERA. 1-4 is his record. As my partner referenced, equal number of starting appearances and relief appearances, 5 apiece. 33 1/3 innings pitched. That is third best on this Grace roster this year. 23 earned runs, 14 walks, 30 strikeouts, and opposing batters are batting .300 on Ayton this season. So Bryce Davenport coming to the plate for Marian, and we referenced the fact that he attended Moeller High School in Cincinnati. And you can have a tremendous debate in terms of the best player from Moeller to play in Major League Baseball. Which of two Hall of Famers would you choose
Barry
between?
Larkin's in the Hall of Fame. He's not bad.
Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Larkin.
Won an MVP and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Ken Griffey Jr. spent 22 years in Major League Baseball. Barry Larkin spent 19 years in Major League Baseball.
All with the same team.
Can you name the other major leaguer that spent 18 years in Major League Baseball after having played at Moeller High School?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I think you stumped me.
Well, it is a family that is associated with the city of Cincinnati.
Oh, is it Buddy Bell?
It's Buddy Bell. There you go.
Okay. Buddy Bell.
Because current Reds manager David Bell is also
yes
a Moeller graduate as well.
Yes.
In fact, there have been, according to Baseball Reference, and I trust their research, 14 alumni of Archbishop Moeller High School in Cincinnati have played Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Number 11, Bryce Davenport.
Buddy Bell,
who finished his career briefly with the Reds. Spent a little time with them in the late 80s after being a star for the Rangers.
I think there have only been, 2 families that have had 3 generations of big leaguers?
The Boones be the other one?
Uh-huh. And Buddy's father, Gus, played for the Reds in the 50s.
So here's Davenport, popped up to the catcher. Around ball to first base, his 2 previous plate appearances. Swinging away on that one. First baseman in Pollock was convinced that a bunt was coming. Now he changes course and backs up, but Pollock was 4 or 5 steps in on the grass. He's drifting that direction again now, too. First baseman Pollock even with the bag currently. Swing and a miss. Well, Pollock can back up now at 0-2. As Davenport has taken a pair of rips at the baseball and is yet to connect. And Davenport, a team high 9 home runs for the Knights. Ayton wasted that one. Count it 1-2. Two and 2. A lot of room in the gaps if Davenport can get it there.
Yeah, he's not hit a ball out of the infield yet.
Still has it. Swing and a miss. First batter, first strikeout for Aiden. One away.
That back for Marian, number 9, Brody Reinhold.
So here's Brody Reinhold. Reinhold struck out last time up. Overhand curveball breaks out of the zone. 1-0 the count.
And Aiden is throwing it up and out. He's scattering the ball, finding the zone though.
Couldn't stop the swing that time, could Reinhold. 1-1 the count with a 2-umpire scenario. You don't have the luxury of pointing towards, shortstop where the base umpire is right now. I think the home plate umpire made the proper call on that. I thought he committed to it. Casual toss back to second base.
I'm surprised he actually threw that ball. Usually it's just a step off and a fake. You throw that ball, you got a chance of throwing it into center field.
By the way, Braden McIntosh currently at second base for Grace. Carr's spot in the lineup. Count 2-1. Toss back, and Bourdonnais was a little surprised by that, but not enough on it to nab him at second base. Reinhold scored the first run of the game for Marian. He was the first of 9 batters to come to the plate in the third. Foul tip. Count it 2-2.
Craig Dixon back and getting ready in the Marian bullpen.
Full count. On the third trip to the lineup here for the Knights. Off the hands. First baseman bobbles past the second baseman. They're going to give the run of the wave around from third. And the throw is kind of lofted towards the pitcher that time by the second baseman. So much as an infield miscue kind of gave Grace a gift run earlier. The same for the Knights, and we are tied at 4.
Yeah, that ball handcuffed the first baseman, Pollock, and then the second baseman just into the game. McIntosh tried to pick up the loose ball, and his footing gave way. Heads up base ready by Bourdonnais to come home and tie the game. As now there's one of the alumni tents has come loose and is currently on its way to Butler.
So Winchus that run will get charged to Cook. Means that he will not factor in the decision today. The runner on first base belongs to Aiden. Winchus, a line drive to center field last time up. And a pop-up single. He first came to the plate back in the third. Reinhold over at first does not have a stolen base this year. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one to Dayton.
Yeah, he did. He's gone deep into the account with all three hitters he's faced coming out of the bullpen.
Cato awaits on deck for the Knights. Three and one. A little bit of activity, but nothing serious yet in the bullpen for Grace in case Ayton struggles. Reinhold dives back to the bag in plenty of time. Run scored by Bourdonnais, his 25th of the season. Even though the Knights are under 500, they have outscored their opponents this year.
That's hard to do.
Run differential, they are plus 22.
And it appears as though Craig Nixon is going to be the pitcher for Marian when we get to the top of the seventh, as he's just about finished down in the left field bullpen.
Yeah, if Marian can take the lead, or they can give Enfield a chance to be the winning pitcher in today's game. Out straight back. Count now full of 3-2.
I can report that one of the alumni tents that had gone astray has been retrieved and is now back in its position behind the left center field fence.
It's picked up from what it was earlier. Line drive, caught. They throw to first, not in time. 2 down. Second time in any plate appearances that Winchester has made hard contact, but retired out in the process. Here's Cato. Fly ball to center field last time up. Fielder's choice at an RBI back in the third. Want to know the count? Cato has played in every game but one this year for the Knights. Started every game but two. In for a strike, 1-1 the count.
Grace has the top of the order due up in the top of the seventh. Cato's plate appearance representing Marian's fourth time through.
Turns on this one. First baseman Pollock gives chase, second baseman right fielder, but and even with such ample territory, couldn't cover that much ground in that length of time. 1-2. One-two pitch. Runner goes. Cato sprays it foul. And we'll do it again at 1-2.
This is going to be a bullpen game from here on in. We'll see how resourceful each coach gets in terms of arms available usage.
This is Hero's third year at Marian. He was part of that team 2 years ago that saw their season ended prematurely because of COVID-19. Last year, started 51 games for the Knights. Part of the Crossroads League Gold Glove team last year was Cato. Game just passing the 2-hour mark. Runner was leaning, but able to get back in time. He caught Reinbold going that direction.
Yeah, and Pollock dropped the ball too as he was receiving that throw. It's a great shot by our crew. Catching Reinhold leaning towards second base.
Time is called by the catcher. Just misses. Down at 3-2. If Cato can reach, then Jackson Hogue would step to the plate. Runner goes, foul tip, we'll do it again. This may be the lengthiest at bat for a Marian player today.
And just before that pitch, Ayton turned and asked Tony Montalone, our base umpire, if he could go to the mouth while he was off the rubber, just to confirm that. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Probably we are south of that weather threshold today.
Yeah.
Popped up, right on top of us. Another fresh supply of baseballs needed.
Yeah, typically in the warmer temperatures, the umpires aren't going to let you lick your fingers or blow into your hand, but on a day like today, more than likely going to be allowed, but it's one of those it never hurts to ask.
Yep. Runner takes off. This one turned, and we'll do it again. This may be the lengthiest at bat of the day at this juncture.
Yeah, tops that at bat that Newkirk had in the second for Grace.
Missed it hot. Great battle by Cato. So runners at first and second. Here's Hogue.
Now batting for Marian, number 3, Jackson Hogue.
Hogue, a fly ball to right field last time up. Pair of singles before that. This is Hogue's second year in the program. Played in 42 games a year ago, including 20 starts.
And kudos on the David Bowie walk-up music, by the way. That's solid. That's number 2 on my list today. The Shane McMahon walk-up is number 1 at the moment.
So you're telling me you're all about fame and money?
I don't think that's ever been said of me, but I suppose that's what I'm alluding, yes.
At least your musical taste.
Yes.
Did he offer it that? Looks like the answer is going to be no. Oh, they'll ask the
appeal.
Fire on the bases, and he said yes, and I think that's the right call. I thought he went. 2-1 the count, or 1-1, excuse me. Chase the high fastball that time. Not seen many offerings that high in today's game from either side. 1-2.
No, Ayton found another gear on that pitch, though. That's the hardest pitch he's thrown.
He's one pitch away from getting out of the jam. Not that pitch. He got away from Cosme. Both runners will advance 90 feet. So Reinhold to third. Cato advances to second. First wild pitch as we have seen since the first inning. Well, go ahead, run 90 feet away here for Marian. Hogue has 18 runs batted in this year. Popped up. That'll reach the seats. Seeing good lengthy at bats here by Marian. It's the first reliever of the day for Grace.
Yeah, Ayton has thrown 27 pitches and just against 5 batters.
Gelato awaits on deck if it gets to him. Now runs full. First, you have a base to work with here.
Porchelato, while the number 3 hitter's 0 for 3 today. And has only put 1 of his 3 outs in play.
Ball 4 wasn't close. Didn't give me anything to think about that time, and now back-to-back walks have been drawn by Marian batters. Porcelato's second. He's already scored 1. They're trying to tack onto that and reclaim the lead in what's been a back and forth affair. There's an offer at that one, and good judgment shown by the lefty.
Yeah, Ayton is all of a sudden having difficulty finding the strike zone. 4 straight balls.
It's in for a strike. Porcelato started all 54 games last year. Honorable mention all league. Took a rip at that one, couldn't catch up. 1-2 the count. The problem for Ayton has been once he gets to 2 strikes, he's had trouble finding the zone.
It's almost like he's trying to force that last pitch in, that last strike, and he's overthrowing it, not bending his back all the way down, leaving the ball up, or it's been down in the dirt.
Now 2-2. Found the zone with that, but Porcelano sprays it. There's been some good two-strike hitting by Marian in these at-bats as well.
Did they win at least?
Foul ball. Got him in the batter's box. Do it again at 2-2. Trey Heidlich awaits on deck. This is the 7th batter to the plate this inning for the Knights. He left the bases loaded in the 3rd after scoring 3. Trying to avoid that same fate here in the home half of the 6th. That hit him, and that's an RBI. Bases loaded, hit batsman. An RBI the hard way, but Marian will take it, and they lead 5-4.
Well, credit to Marian's hitters for really making Ayton come to the plate, try and find the zone, and recognizing that he's having trouble. Don't bail the pitcher out by swinging at a bad pitch.
There's Heidlich. Last 3 batters that have reached for Marian. Bases on balls, hit by pitch.
Now here at the bases loaded, you could really give your bullpen a lift and a little bit of margin for error with a base hit here.
So infield now is in line to be the winning pitcher for Marian. Missed high. Heidlich has singled his last 2 times up. RBI earlier, his 20th of the year. Foul tipped that one on the off-speed pitch. There's a young man sprinting towards the bullpen for Grace. So activity's about to pick up for the Lancers down the right field line.
And it appears Nixon has completed his warm-ups down in the left field corner as the Marian bullpen has gone quiet.
Heidlich lifts this one foul, and this is a scenario that we have been in before. Count at 1-2. Heidlich turns on that one, but that is well foul. That off the MUKnights.com sign down the 3rd base line.
Got a hold of it, but way out in front.
And again, stay alive swing. Can't be as selective in a 2-strike predicament. More fresh baseballs to work with. Whoever's in charge tracking down foul balls has been busy today.
Absolutely. Just thinking the same thing.
I mean, this has been the problem, is that once Aiden's gotten to 1-2, Marian's kept battling, or he kind of hasn't trusted his stuff enough to get that 3rd strike.
And they haven't bailed him out by chasing bad balls with 2 strikes.
Foul tip back in the mitt, and that is the end of that. But Marian scores 2. They do leave the bases loaded, but they jump back in front. To the top of the 7th we go. 5-4 Knights in front as you're watching on ISC and Comcast 81.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
We've been told that Batesville Bob is now securely in his tent. Tent's back on top. He's in good shape.
That was his tent that was pinwheeling like a hot dog wrapper at Candlestick Park.
That would be Trey Heilage's dad that we're referencing out in left center field, by the way. New pitcher on the mound for Marian University. Was warming for the last inning or two. It is Craig Nixon, young man from the Cincinnati area. Transfer from Division III Muskingum University. Now pitching here at Marian. Nixon on the season, a 5.15 ERA. You see his numbers there on the screen. He is now tied for the team high in appearances with 12. He has thrown not exclusively, largely out of the bullpen. He's got 3 starts, so his 9th relief appearance. He has thrown 36 2/3 innings on the season. And you see his walk and strikeout ratio. But the number that catches your attention in a positive way as a Marian fan is that of the players that have routinely thrown regular innings for the Marian Knights, opposing hitters have the worst batting average against Nixon.
Yeah, 197. That jumps out.
He's got an electric arm. You can see that in how he is maneuvering on the mound. Brought the gas on that one. So Griffin struck out the last 2 times facing Enfield. Swing and a miss that time.
And we were just told that Nixon was the original scheduled starter for Game 1 today until yesterday's games were postponed. So he was backed up. Still getting some work in.
Griffin, first baseman, Davenport dives. Good job. A little pitcher's fielding practice that time as Nixon quickly over to first base to make the play. 3-1 the putout, and there's 1 down.
Now batting number 12, Pollock.
So here's Jeff Pollock. Singleton scored last time up. As an RBI to his credit as well. Nixon making no bones about what he's offering fastball, and here, go get him.
So Marian's bullpen needing to get 9 outs to close out this game.
Missed that one, 1-1 the count.
And if you're a fan of a team that has a bullpen that struggles, those 9 outs can seem like an eternity. That's a passive-aggressive Reds reference, by the way, in case you didn't catch that, Greg.
I've tried to block out all Reds rep, even though opening night went well.
Yes, it did. And the bullpen wasn't too bad last night.
Friday night reverted to form for our Reds.
Bullpen was decent, though. Starter, not so much.
3-1. Activity continues in the pen for Grace. Nothing going for the Marian side of things.
Yeah, this is Nixon's inning, for sure.
And he walks him. So the tying run is aboard. 1 on, 1 out. Infield 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. 4 runs allowed. Here's Rich, a double his last time up. To the base of the wall, the left center. First baseman gives chase, but that'll reach the parking lot. Good for a strike. Count quickly at 0-2. That double Rich has only hit in 3 plate appearances so far. A little high.
Ooh.
Didn't miss by much.
No, it did not. Nixon working quickly, however. He's not wasting much time.
Swing and a miss. 2 down. For Nixon, his 33rd strikeout of the season. So he's averaging just a little under a strikeout per inning in his efforts this year. Here's Carr, began the game as the second baseman. Now as the third baseman for the Lancers. He singled to start the 4th inning. Job by Winchester to snag that one. Two and 0. Three and 0.
And Nixon really overthrowing on this at bat to Carr. Take a deep breath and settle back in.
Not close. 4-pitch walk. Both runners that have reached this inning have done so by way of bases on balls.
Now batting 5, Sam Newkirk.
Here's Newkirk. Newkirk singled his last plate appearance. He was thrown out at third on a ball that was in front of him. And throw being with the bag, but he may have had a point about beating the tag around the base. That misses 1-0 the count.
And all these pitches are missing in the same spot.
Yep.
Belt high away to the right-hand hitter.
He's overthrowing to a degree. This one found the dish. 1-1 the count as Newkirk sprays it foul. By overthrowing sometimes means your arm's kind of coming across your body, which is what allows it to kind of be consistently wide of the plate to a right-handed hitter. Didn't miss the corner by much that time.
No.
But when you have consistently missed outside, you tend not to get as much of that corner in that call.
Yeah. And he missed on that pitch.
He did.
You see on the replay. Yeah, you forfeit the benefit of the doubt.
But 1 pitch away from getting out of this spot of bother here in the top half of the 7th. Curveball, and good job by Newkirk to stay alive. I'd say it has been 80-90% fastball that we have seen so far.
Yeah.
Nixon switched it up there.
That might be the first off-speed pitch he's thrown since he had the leadoff hitter Griffin on his back foot.
Swing and a miss. Throw on to first to complete the out. Newkirk hustling down the line. Made it a play, and Winchester might want to put a little more on that next time. However, we have reached stretch time here at Marian University. Knights lead at 5-4. We're back in a moment as you're watching on ISC and Comcast 81.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 1.99% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
5-4. Knights leading the Lancers in the first of two here from Marian University. Today's game presented in part by IMCU. Indiana Members Credit Union, proud to support the Marian University Knights, and now offers a free Marian Knights debit card with a free checking account. Get your Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Membership savings required. Federally insured by the NCUA. So J.J. Rivera will lead things off for the Knights. He is 2 for 3 so far today. This will be the 8th batter that Ayton has faced, as he faced 7 to get 2 outs in the home half of the 6th.
48 pitches to get those 2 outs.
Leading off for Marian in the bottom of the 7th inning, number 21, J.J. Rivera.
Rivera, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in on the season. First pitch swinging, first pitch ripping into right center field. He'll make the turn, but stop right there. And Rivera's got a 3-hit afternoon. Young man from North Aurora, Illinois, played at South Suburban Junior College before making his way to Marian. Now here is A.J. Bourdonnais.
It's the 5th time this year that Rivera has had at least 3 hits in a game.
Rivera's played in every game for the Knights, started every one but one. So here's Bourdonnais. Bourdonnais doubled and scored last inning. He was the last batter that Cook faced. Has to put down a bunt, does so successfully. Ayton looks at second, but nobody was there. Might have had a play, but nobody covered.
He got to that ball quickly, and I think he did have a play. You watch the replay here, he picks it up, and Rivera's a good 25, 30 feet from the bag, but there's nobody there to take the throw.
Is that the second baseman's play or the shortstop's play?
Well, if you're running that wheel with the first baseman coming in, it's got to be the shortstop's play. The second baseman's going to first.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Here's Davenport. Davenport struck out last time up.
Boy, it's a big run down at second base if they can get Bourdonnais in.
And that misses. Davenport last year, 47 starts as a freshman. Played in 50 games in total. Already sitting on 13 home runs in basically a year and 2/3 at Marian. Turns over this one, right fielder. Tracking this one, it's off the base of the wall. Davenport heads for second. Runner being waved around. Rivera is going to score. And you can see why Davenport has hit 9 home runs. Because he didn't fully catch that one, and he hit it off the base of the wall in right field.
I thought you may have Nostradamus that one and called your shot. Yeah, he did not get all of it, and it still hit the base of the wall on the fly. But getting Bourdonnais home is a big run to give the Knights a 2-run cushion. With no activity in the bullpen, the 8th inning is going to be Nixon's in the top half of the 8th.
Would you like to hear the closest I came to calling a shot on a home run?
Absolutely.
Okay. Reinhold is at the plate. Remember the name Jared Parker?
Oh, yeah. Played Norwell.
Correct. This one into right center field, tailing right the center fielder. That'll get down for a base hit. Davenport had to hold. Reinhold hustling all the way in. And now Davenport will come in when the throw got sent to second. Late send home. So double, back to back. With that, it's 7-4 in favor of Marian.
Todd Bacon did not hesitate to send Davenport.
Let's see if that might be it for Ayton. There's the young man heading in from the bullpen as we speak. That was a heck of an uppercut swing that time by Reinhold. Right now it's a conversation. No official move is being made here for Grace. Love that look into the dugout there. See the celebration from the camera of Eric Cadet on the third baseline, and Aiden's going to stay in. So,
yeah, no change.
I was on the pleasure of doing the call of Jared's senior year at Norwell when they won the 3A state championship. In fact, back then he had literally been drafted that week in the first round. I forget what it was about the Diamondbacks who drafted them, I believe.
He ended up making it to the biggest with the A's.
Correct. There was a trade that was involved. Anyway, he had already homered. He was the starting pitcher, spotted himself a 3-0 lead, basically did nothing but fastballs the rest of the game because he had just been drafted, didn't want to get hurt, and knew his teammates were pretty good around him. There was a young man named Ryan Otis that was the guy hitting behind him at Norwell. I think Ryan actually would play at Taylor, I believe, and spelled like Ryan Sandberg's name. So obviously made the reference that clearly Dad was a Cubs fan. As Winchus is at the plate, sprays that one foul. And then, of course, my color part at the time, Brad Silver, goes, well, perhaps maybe he's actually last named is named after the elevator company, as in Otis Elevator.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's see if he can go up and out of here on this one. He hit the top of the wall at Victory Field.
That's solid. That's solid work.
Missed it by a foot. 1-1 the count. Curveball. Winchus, runner tagging at second as he should in foul territory. Catch is made by Newkirk, but wisely advancing behind the play is Reinhold. So Winchus is the second put out of the inning, but both outs have been productive for Marian. There's a runner at third with 2 down.
Yeah, anytime you can make an out and move somebody over, you're advancing your cause. This has been a very productive inning for the Knights.
So Hero Cato comes to the plate for the 5th time today. Worked a long walk last time up. 2 batters later, what would be the go-ahead run would score for the Knights, as they have now scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th, and 2 more in the 7th. Given the length of the last at bat, Cosme and Ayton having a lengthy discussion here. Wonder how the catcher handles wearing the IFB, as we call it in the business, behind home plate. I wonder how long it takes you to get used to that.
Well, you can see it running down. You can see the cord running down the right side of the back of his neck. We can't, sitting behind the plate here.
Count at 1-0. 2-0.
And there's actually a cord running then down his back. You can see a cord coming into his back right pocket.
Yep. Basically wearing a receiver. The receiver is wearing a receiver. 3-0.
Also true.
I think Cato gets the take sign here. It's in for a strike. Cato has reached twice, has an RBI, a run scored. Officially 1 for 3 today. Swing and a miss. Full count. Conditions about as bright as they have been throughout the game. That strike 3 called. That's not where Cato thought that one was going to be. Inning is over, but again, Marian stretches their lead. We are through 7 here at Marian University. Knights lead by 3. You're watching on ISC and Comcast 81.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35 plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, is a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
A lot of the Marian runs have been kind of the scratch-em-out variety today. Not in that inning. Single and 2 doubles for the Marian Knights. What was a 5-4 lead is now back to a 3-run cushion, and I say back to, it is their largest lead of this day. Race scored 1 in the 3rd, scored 2 in the 5th, and a go-ahead run in the 6th. The top of the 8th we go. Again, this is the 9-inning game. Game number 2 today will be of the 7-inning variety. Cosme 0 for 3. Want to know the count. And it is very possible that Nixon could be tasked with a 9-out save opportunity here.
Yeah, there's nothing going down in the Marian bullpen, so I think this is his game to close out.
He's had 3 starts this year, averages over 3 innings per outing. In for strike 2 and 1.
Yeah, certainly he's been stretched out to enough where they're comfortable pitching him that long.
That is the save of the Fingers Gossage variety back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Sutter.
Off the hands, shortstop. Cosme hustling down the line for a big fella, but plenty of time for the infield can of corn for Bourdonnais, and there's 1 down. So this is McIntosh's spot in the lineup.
Now batting for Grace, 42, Braden McIntosh.
So McIntosh came in after there was a pinch hitter in Slager for Curiel's spot. McIntosh has had a couple of looks in the field since entering the fray, but this is his first plate appearance of the game.
That ground ball out by Cosme, other than fielded bunts, that's only the 2nd ground ball out of the game recorded by the Marian defense.
Infield, everything was airborne for him. McIntosh this year, this is his 13th appearance of the season. All but 4 as a reserve. He's batting $148. That is 4 hits in 27 at-bats. Watches that one go by. McIntosh, a freshman from Roseville, California. And he may be questioning some life decisions today.
That's Sacramento area, I believe.
Because he is wearing the gloves, he is wearing the sleeves, he is wearing a hoodie under his jersey. He was not told about this on his recruiting visit to Northern Indiana.
No.
3-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Because the number 42 has been retired in professional baseball for 25 years, it is almost somewhat odd to see a 42 at the college or high school level.
Agreed.
This one lifted foul. Of course, there was one player that got number 42 on his jersey just in the nick of time. Because that would have been Marian Rivera's about 3rd or 4th year in the majors. And he then wore it for the next 15 plus years. Strike 3, no doubt about it. McIntosh will head back to the dugout, 2 down. 3rd strikeout for Nixon.
Batting for the Lancers, number 9, Jake Cox.
Here's Cox. Cox has had a fantastic day. He's reached base all 3 times. He has scored twice. He has an RBI as well. Outside corner, strike called.
You can make a case he's had the best day of any Lancer at the plate in this first game. Even more impressive considering he came in hitting just 154.
Watches that one go by. count now 2-1. Jake is from Union, Ohio. That is the far northwest suburbs of Dayton. Kind of 2-2. Did he go? No. I agree with the first base umpire. I think that's the right call. Thought he held up full count. I think this has been a well umpired game today.
Yeah, it's close.
Swing and a miss.
No doubt there.
That did not do anything to deter Nixon's efforts to come back and get him. Nixon has faced 8 batters. He has struck out 4 and has yet to give up a hit. Insurance run time for the Knights. They lead 7-4 in the bottom half of the 8th. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Thanks to our friends at McAllister's. You see that lift next to the press box. That is to give you the best look at today's game as possible. I'm sure it's nice and warm up there too. Thanks to our great crew, Dennis Glover, Rob Lynch, Eric Cadet, Richard Feely. Thanks to Derek Schultz, Biggie, Alan Hughes, and Jordan Shue. Get alongside Rob Brown. My name is Greg Rakestraw. There appears to be some sort of yellow jacket, wasp sort of thing in front of me. What is he doing? It is 40 degrees outside.
I was wondering when you were going to notice that. He came in the booth the last half inning.
He had to have been in here from last year. It's not been warm enough for him to be around yet today. So Mason on to pinch run. He's pinch run a couple of different times. Now he is into bat. This is in Hoag's spot in the lineup because he entered there back in the 6th. Bit of a defensive replacement as well.
6 ground balls.
Smack this one. Third baseman in Carr. A little high on the throw, but had plenty of time. And Mason is retired quickly. There's one down.
Batting for your Knights, number 13, Mateo
Porcelato hit by a pitch that as of now is the game-winning RBI.
Most significant at bat of the game thus far.
Off the end of the bat, that one into center field for a base hit. Porcelato has his first hit of the day and officially 4 plate appearances. Here's Heidlich.
Now batting for your Knights, number 5, Trey Heidlich.
He's telling our buddy Mitch Huppert, having covered Trey as a high school athlete, if Trey wanted to, I think he'd be capable of playing football here at Marian. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Good looking throw. A little high. And Porcelato able to take the bag. Porcelato, his team high 14th stolen base of the season.
Second in the conference with 14 steals.
Stolen base is a lost art at the major league level. It is not in high school or college. Heidlich struck out to end the threat in the 6th. 2 singles in 4 plate appearances today. A cue shot off the end of the bat, and it's 0-2.
He's just like, nope, nope, nope.
That one slides out of the zone. 1-2 the count. Off the hands. This one tailing, foul. Count remains 1-2.
Been 4 or 5 balls that have dropped foul in that right field foul territory corner. Plenty of room down there.
Yeah, is there some kind of a clause that lets the Indians say, okay, screw this, it's not working?
Outside corner, a beauty, painted it. And Heidlich will turn around. Struck out for a second consecutive plate appearance, this time looking. And there's 2 down. It's a heck of a pitch that time by Aiden.
Back for your Knights, number 21, J.J. Rivera.
In the dirt, Rivera puts his hand up immediately, says no reason to advance further.
And Aiden has done a much better job locating that 2-strike pitch after Marian got the lead. Sure, he'd like to have a couple of those 2-strike pitches back when Marian was building this gap.
Rivera singled and scored last time up. 3-hit afternoon. As my partner stated earlier, not the first time he has done that this year. For the Chicagoland area native. This one, sky high, left fielder coming in, locates it, snags it, inning is over. 3 outs to get 3 runs for Grace, or Marian will pick up their second home victory of the season. 7-4 to the top of the 9th we go, here on ISC and Comcast 81.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals in the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
The Marian Knights, again, in a game that has a lot of meaning in terms of simply making the conference tournament some 3 weeks from now. Trying to take the first half of this twin bill. Leads 7-4. Enfield on the line for his first victory this season at Marian. Nixon in line for his first save of the season.
Leading off the 9th inning for Grace, number 2, Patrick Danforth.
So Danforth will lead things off here for Grace, 9-1-2. But again, the back half of the order has been just as potent as any other part of the order. Here for the Lancers. First pitch swinging. Danforth skies it. Center fielder barely has to move. Porcelletto waits for it to come down, and there's one away. So Griffin.
Now to bat, number 34, Griffin.
You think Chris is a fan of Family Guy or not?
Perhaps. Perhaps. Just thinking,
4 today.
Nixon has done a great job coming in. And one of the things he's done, in addition to pitching so effectively, is by coming in here and getting 2 outs away from getting a 9-out save, he saved the bullpen for game 2.
Almost. 1-2. Griffin was the first batter to face Nixon to start the 7th. Hit a ground ball to first base. Count evens up now at 2-2. Nixon walked batters 2 and 4 that he saw. Has yet to give up a hit. Sky high pop up that'll reach the neighborhood behind us. And the count goes to 2-2. This one hit hard. Right fielder looking up at the wall. Goodbye. Griffin has his 5th home run of the season, and Grace has clawed one back on our first big fly of the afternoon.
Solo home run 34, Griffin.
That ball stayed up, and Griffin took it out of here.
Number 12, Jeff Paulus.
Got a great swing at that one.
Let her high. Got everything behind it. One hops Cato Wagner Hall.
That one almost got to the 2nd floor. One of these days there might be a Dave Kingman sign on the side of that building from when a ball hit it directly. There's Pollock. Reached his last 2 times up. Swing and a miss at that one, 0-2 the count. Technically he is 1 for 2 today with a run scored and an RBI. He walked his last time up. And for those of you watching on Comcast 81, be about a 30-minute gap in between games today. Of course, our games being streamed for free at iscsportsnetwork.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You stay right where you are, be able to keep watching the second half of this twin bill. Two and two the count. Swing and a miss. And Grace is down to a final out.
5 strikeouts and 10 batters faced. That's not bad.
Not
bad.
Here's Rich. He was one of those 5 strikeouts. He also doubled to the base of the wall and had an RBI back in the 5th. In other words, he can turn on one here too. Curveball that broke through the zone and out of the zone. 1-1 the count. Pops it up. This will reach the seats. Davenport gives it a glance, but nothing to do that one on that one. Count goes to 1-2, and Grace potentially down to a final pitch. This one hopped to home plate, 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Marian has a W. They come from behind. They once trailed 4-3. They score 2 runs in each of the 6th and 7th innings to claim a 7-5 conference victory. So again, imagine about a 30-minute gap before we get to game number 2. Stay right where you are. We will have it for you at approximately 4:25. But temporarily, for Rob Brown and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. We'll start our between games activities with a feature on a multi-time national champion here at Marian University. Here's a bit more about Aaron Alexak.